So, Pat Donny, welcome back. You've had a week in the UK.
Indeed.
It's been a very busy
very cold week. Yes,
very cold week as well. Very wet week, maybe.
Wet week, indeed.
Donny, just how important was this week that President Prabowo chose the UK as his first European destination since his inauguration?
I think actually that's quite right, Chris. I mean, it's part of a few countries sort of travel, but it was the first European destination for a official state visit, and I'd like to say that the visit went really well. But the more important part is for BritCham. I think, as we just discussed at the board meeting today, it's really a historic milestone for BritCham, where we had 4 engagement events from Wednesday, Thursday, the meeting of the CEO roundtable with the president himself, and then 2 other events on the Friday one as part of the Indonesia Investment Forum. But the pinnacle of that for BritCham, I believe, was when we co-hosted the CEO roundtable between President Prabowo and a few of the ministers with the CEOs or chair of the top UK companies. It went really well. I think we got a lot of feedback actually, both from the Indonesian government side, His Majesty's government, as well as from the CEOs and the chair actually who joined the meeting. That they really enjoyed that. It was very forthcoming and giving a lot of reassurance about Indonesia as a destination of choice for investments. And not to mention as well, $8.5 billion of investments ain't too shabby at all.
Not too shabby at all.
Not too shabby.
So actually, that the whole visit overlapped with the IIF, the Indonesian Investment Forum, which
Yes.
BritCham has supported over the years. This is the BKPM and Indonesian Embassy in London's event, where obviously they're promoting opportunities in Indonesia. I know that yourself, Donny, sat on one panel, and Ian Betts,
That's right.
our vice chair, sat on another panel. What could you just offer people listening to this as perhaps some of the key opportunities that came out as possible investment opportunities for Indonesia?
Well, Chris, as you rightly say, I think BritCham, and thanks to you, has been a key partner to the IIPC, or the BKPM office in the UK, and the KBRI in staging Indonesia Investment Forum since every year since the COVID time. I think I spoke at panel 1 about opportunities of the UK companies going into Indonesia, different sectors and so on, particularly under the green financing and energy transition, while Ian spoke about the other sort of aspects from a BritCham perspective, covering creative industries, covering healthcare, and a few other sectors, and education as well, by the way. Now, some of the key takeout points that we saw over there was Indonesia under the new administration. There's a number of, like you saw, the aspirational 8% economic growth.
Yeah.
There's a number of wider part of the downstreaming. It's not just metal and mining anymore, but there's about 28 sectors, including commodities, agro, forestry, marine fisheries, for downstreaming. That presents significant opportunities for many of the UK corporations to play a part, whether that's providing the technological know-how in helping with the downstreaming of Indonesia's industries, or look at the healthcare. There's been a significant interest on the healthcare part, with a couple of investments as part of the $8.5 billion that was announced by President Prabowo of UK corporates investing into Indonesia. But this is just only the start. We know a country like Indonesia requires a lot of healthcare and life sciences sort of services, if you will, and it's only going to go further. And I think that's resonates with the way that the UK has got some expertise on education. There's a few investments actually already being talked about in terms of like the King's College with Singasari, and we hope that there will be more to come in that way. Now, of course, many of the UK corporates have been in Indonesia for over 100 years, as you know, something that President Prabowo quoted in his press briefings, and we're quite proud actually about that. But again, we know that there are more for the UK to help Indonesia transition further, particularly around services side of things, capital markets, legal services, consultancy, accounting. We got actually in store for Indonesia.
Donny, yourself, the board, always prided ourselves on having key relationships. Now, Minister Rozan Roslani, of course, he was chairman of CADIN just a few years ago, and CADIN has been one of the key stakeholders of BritCham over the years and remains so. He's now the chairman of BKPM, which is perhaps the key stakeholder for BritCham.
Yes.
How important do you think it's been that he's seen the profile again of BritCham during this last week?
I think, number one, it is very important for BKPM, as you said, actually as our main partner, because our vision is to promote trade and investment between the two countries. And for us, BritCham Indonesia, sitting over here, we work hand in hand with BKPM in trying to promote that particular vision of ours. I believe that the engagements over the last few days in the UK last week has given Minister Rosan a perspective about what the UK can offer, specifically what the UK private sector can offer, and the potential that is really there, and the role that BritCham has been playing for the last more than 4 decades in promoting the two countries' trade and investment relations. And I think actually we got a good showing over there.
That's great. So I think in general, just for us to summarise, the BritCham profiling over the last week has been absolutely first class, corralling our key members, some of those best of British companies, and bringing them together with President Prabowo, as you say, other fora as well, with Hashim, the roundtable with Minister Rozan, supporting the two panel discussions with the IIF, all absolutely great. So I think the message from us at BritCham is, and Donny rattled off all those sectors where the opportunities are. In fact, it might have been easier and faster if he rattled off the sectors where there are no opportunities. And I can't think of any.
That's probably the right way to put it, yes.
Can't think of any. Just to let you all know, if you're out there in the UK, if you're sitting on the fence, if you're thinking about Indonesia, if you haven't yet thought about Indonesia, please be rest assured that BritCham is very, very capable in terms of its business centre, providing market access support. Between the board, our 250 members, the 1,000 nominees that they represent, we have an absolutely superbly deep network and eco-structure in place to support your journey from the very beginning all the way through to either making your investment or getting your trading underway, supporting you finding your agent, your distributor, your joint venture partner, the banking, the company setups, the taxation, absolutely everything. So do please get in touch with us. You can contact me, Chris Wren, at britcham.or.id. If any of you, on the back of what you've seen over the last week, are planning any visits to Indonesia, please give us notice in advance. We can add terrific value to your visit. Donny, what comes next?
Well, essentially the message is that the UK and Indonesia can achieve great outcomes together, and BritCham stands ready to support you.
Thank you.